Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my first currently inked for March 2025. I do have quite a few pens to share, but I always really enjoy watching the longer currently inks, so I hope you'll bear with me and enjoy this one. I'm going to get right into it. The first pen I have is a very new pen to me. It's the Jinhao X750 in this black sparkly colorway. It's a nice metal pen with a medium nib, and I really like the grip section. It's very comfortable to write with from what I've experienced so far. And I also have this inked with a newer ink. It is the Colorverse, my first Colorverse ink as well. Blue, green, snake. Standard, not the shimmer. I did actually intend to get the shimmer colorway, but I realized I didn't. But this is a really nice teal with a lot of shading. As you can see, it's skipping a little bit, which I don't love. So I don't know if it's maybe on the drier side or if it's the pen, but it's been fine generally. It is a teal with red shading. Sorry, red sheen. I don't know if I said that already. It reminds me of Diamine Aurora Borealis. Hence why I did kind of want to get the shimmer to have something different, because I do also own Aurora Borealis, but oh well, I like it still. The next pen I have is the Platinum Preppy Prepare Nip, which is the Kokuyo collaboration. And I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way for me to film these. So maybe back with a different setup next month. This is just a Hobonichi notebook as well. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. This is inked with the Robert Ostert and the Coffee Monsters Co. collab in Day to Night. It's a very nice wet ink and a pretty unique color, kind of a dusty rose. I really like it, even in the fine nib. The next pen I have is the Jinhao 100 Century in this sort of milky white colorway. And it has a extra fine nib. So therefore I have put a very well-behaved, well-flowing ink in it. The Pilot Irishizuku Murasaki Shikibu, which I think means Japanese beauty berry. This was actually my first bottle of ink from one of my good friends who is kind of the person who got me into fountain pens. Thanks a lot. Just kidding. But, I love it's a very nice classic purple. And before I got into fountain pens, I was very into writing with gel pens. And I would always use the Pentel Energel that were the purple ones. So I needed a purple ink for my fountain pens. The next pen I have is my little Opus 88 Mini. This guy has a broad nib, and I actually got it for a pretty good deal. Well, I got it as a gift, but it was on a good deal on stilo.ca. I basically told my partner that I wanted this. And this is currently inked with Diamine's Celadon Cat, which I believe was one of their Reddit inks. And this I know to be a drier ink. Sorry, I contaminated that. Just let me do another one actually. But it does really well in the broad from what I found. And this is a vac fill, which is also new to me, but I haven't had issues with it yet. And it's a very nice shading ink that's light, but it's still pretty legible for me, especially in the broad. The next pen I have is the Kaweco Brass Sport. This guy has a broad nib as well. I'm a big fan of the Kaweco broad nibs. They're just nice and juicy and like very smooth. It is currently inked with Diamine Ink Vent Sleigh Ride, which is from this year. And I saw that my Dandelion Diaries had a video of her. I believe she also had a Kaweco inked with this, and I said to my friend who has the ink vent calendar that she needed to give me a sample. It's a very pretty red with a green sheen. I'm a really big fan of inks with sheens that are kind of opposite to the ink color. So like blue and red I know is a classic. The red and green, and then I also have the sorry, not Diamine. The Lamy Dark Violet, which has a green sheen, and I really like that one as well. As you can see, it's just crazy sheen. I was going to get the bottle of this, but now I have purchased a smaller vial of the Octopus Fluids Griffin, which is very similar in color, so we will see if I end up needing both. I don't really want to have repeats, so we'll see. The next pen I have is the Asfine P20 in Gradual Yellow. This is running pretty low, but I've had it inked for a little bit with the Dominant Industries Ginger Chicken, which is the collaboration with Wonder Pens, one of my favorite stores here in Toronto. This has a medium nib, and this is the pearl. I didn't really agitate it, so I'm not sure if we will get too much shimmer in this sample, but regardless, it's a really nice shading orange, kind of a deep orange. Move it over a little bit. I will come back to it after and see if we can see the shimmer. The next one, this has been, I'm gonna just shake this up a little. This has been one of my faves. It's another Asfine P20, and it has been a good pen for a very poorly behaved ink, but it's been very good in here. This is honestly probably my favorite ink, hence why I put up with the bad behavior of it. This is the Blue Galaxy colorway, and it is also a medium. This is the Pelikan Edelstein Ink of the Year for 2024, I believe. And it is in the color Golden Lapis. And basically, the shimmer does clump together, and it's very bad for clogging, but it is a blue ink with a gold shimmer, and obviously I think it matches the pen perfectly. So you can see here it just kind of looks like the writing is dripping in gold, which was how I heard the stationery dev describe it in one of his videos. That influenced me to want this ink, and it's just so pretty. You cannot really see anything in the ginger chicken, but just imagine this color with some shimmer. Oh no, Sunny Angel down. Okay. We can probably fit one more on this page. The next one is my first Jinhao 10 in the pearl white color. This is the dupe of the Vanishing Point. And you know, I'm sure you've heard lots of praise for these pens. And of course, they're great for the price. Jinhao 10 pearl white. No, they do only come in the fine nib, but honestly, I don't think I can complain. This is inked with Iroshizuku Iro, which is the sky blue. I just have a little bottle of it. I really like the 15 milliliter Iroshizuku bottles. This one does seem to dry really fast. I could barely do the smudge. So yeah, it's just a pretty basic, easy to use blue. It's a little bit fun because it's a little bit brighter. So here's the first page. You can see that sheen on the sleigh ride. You can kind of see it as well on the Colorverse blue-green snake. We're going to go over to the other side. As you can see, this is the newer Hobonichi paper, so it is kind of ghosting through, but I'm just going to use the other side for this one. Okay, my next pen is my newest pen, my other Jinhao 10. This is the matte black colorway. I do really like the look of this. Of course, I wish it had a matte black nib. It just has a silver nib, but that is okay. Again, guess what brand this is inked with, guys? It's another Iroshizuku, my newest ink as well. Sorry, I have to turn it a little bit. I usually write with my notebooks like turned on a kind of 45-degree angle, but I'm trying not to. This is the Jinhao 10 matte black. Now, I'm not sure if it's the ink or the pen, but this one does feel a little bit smoother to me than the other one. This is inked with Iroshizuku Chikurin, which I really like this ink. It is, I just got the little bottle as well off AliExpress, and I believe I contaminated that. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm so sorry. There we go. And yeah, it's just a really nice writer, really nice ink. Now I'm going to get into my TWSBIs. The first is the Espresso TWSBI. Obviously the newest TWSBI, my newest TWSBI. Actually don't have a brown in here. I have a shimmer yellow. I really like kind of yellow golden colors, if you could not tell. I think this is espresso bronze, but I'm just going to write espresso. This is a broad nib because then I can use it for shimmers. This is another brand of ink that I'm really into. It's the Wearing All. I was an English major, so I have a little soft spot in my heart for the literature-inspired names. This one is a Star-Spattered Hill. Again, I think the gold shimmer is just so pretty. And I kind of like it with the espresso. And it's very readable, in my opinion. Now for my other cafe series. I really do like the espresso, but there's something about this cafe bronze that just I don't know, it's just so delicious to me. This is, again, probably one of my favorite inks in my collections, and one of the first that I got. It's a classic. It's another Reddit ink. I'm sure you can tell what it is. This is the TWSBI Eco in Cafe Bronze. And this guy has a medium nib. This, of course, is Diamine Writer's Blood. I really like this combo. I'm not really a person who cares about matching inks to pens, though I do think it's nice when they are matching. This just writes so nice, and I mean, I just love the color of Writer's Blood. This is funny because it's like red, yellow, green. Okay, this is my TWSBI Eco Tea in the saffron color. I think this is really pretty, and you can see the ink that's all over my hands. I'm sorry, but the associate at Wonder Pens, when I got this, described it as an egg color, which I think is very accurate, and I really like that. This is another, honestly, this is probably in the contender for my top favorite ink of all time that I own. I don't really notice a difference between the TWSBI Eco Tea and the normal Eco. Like, I don't really have a preference one way or another. This is my only Eco Tea, but just like the color. And this guy is Wearing All Path. I actually wrote this dry and re-inked it because I just liked the combination so much. The shimmer is handled very well by this pen, and I just love the kind of greeny yellow, as you can see the shimmer there. I did get a sample of the Goose Poupon, which I'm excited to try, from Ferris Wheel Press. It basically looks like Path to me, but with no shimmer. Okay, the last TWSBI I'm going to do is my white. This one has a stub nib on it, which I think just makes kind of everyone's handwriting look better. And guess what? It has a Iroshizuku ink in it. The stub is just fun to write with. I know some people don't like it, but I like the TWSBI stubs. This is inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Shinryoku, which is actually one I have a full bottle of. And it's just a nice, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how people do this without contaminating all of their samples. It's a nice green, but it's not a boring green. It's a little bit more tealy, which I think is fun. Okay, lastly, I'm going to do my Lammies, which I keep in this little really cute Lucky Cat pen case. I love Lucky Cats. I also have the Lego set just off camera, but they're just so nicely tucked in there. So I had mentioned this ink earlier on in the video. This is the purple colorway. I'm sorry, I don't know why I unscrewed that. I'm used to the TWSBIs. And I really like the Lammies more that have the same color clip as the body. I know that's not commonly how they do it. I'm not sure if this color is actually called purple, but I'm just gonna say purple. I think it's one of the candy edition ones, and it's the matte, which I also like. Oh my gosh, sorry, what am I doing? This is inked with the Lamy Dark Lilac. the 2024 version, not the old version. I'm not really sure of the lore surrounding the Lamy Dark Lilac, but I'm perfectly happy with this one, and you can already see the green sheen coming through. It's fun in the broad nib because I think you get more of that. Next is my Spring Green Lamy, my first ever fountain pen. So this guy has a special place in my heart. Funny story is that I actually had purchased a replacement broad nib for this because I wasn't loving the fine, but I had a tragic incident where I believe I accidentally washed my broad nib down the drain. So thankfully they are only like $30, but I had to put the fine back on, and you know what? I actually don't mind it. I like having the finer nib. It did feel a little scratchy at first, but now that I'm kind of used to it, I think it's okay. This has Yamabudu, Iroshizuku in it. This is another contender for just my favorite inks. I love this color. And again, it reminds me of the colors I used to write with a lot in gel pens because I needed the legibility, but I also didn't want just black all the time. My final Lamy is this little pink guy. I guess this isn't as exciting because this ink is in another one of my pens that I already featured. But whatever, I'll show it anyways. I'm not sure what the color's called, but I'm just gonna write pink. This guy has a medium nib, and this is again Iroshizuku Yamabudu. Oh my gosh, not Yamabudu. Amairo. And you can hear the feedback of that Lamy nib, and I never knew whether they were supposed to be that loud, but from my understanding they are. Because even if I try really hard to hold it completely properly, it still makes the noise. And as you can see, this one dries really fast. Okay, that is everything. Let's see if we can see the shimmer. You can see the shimmer in Path. Oh, there we go. Like, it's much better in person. But I like that kind of dirty looking green. And then in a Star Spattered Hill, sorry, I just hit the camera. You can see it a bit. Like, it's just all shimmer. And then the Lamy Dark Lilac. And again, let's just flip back. The Ginger Chicken smudge, which is weird. Never had it really smudge that bad before, but I think I was just going fast. Look at how pretty that is. It is a more expensive ink, this one, but I don't know. And it's you know, it doesn't behave super well. You really have to agitate the shimmer, but oh, I don't care. It's worth it to me because I just think it's so pretty. So how many pens is that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm guessing 8 on this page too. Yeah, okay, so 16 pens. I could have probably included more, but these are basically my main ones I've been using, and I'm going to try to focus on using these and then not needing to immediately re-ink them up. I did just re-ink the Writer's Blood. I had Diamine Fire Embers in it before, which I also really liked. It's just kind of a lighter red. But yeah, we will see. Maybe I will do a check-in at the end of the month to let you know how these all worked out and what I will be carrying over or what I will be uninking. I honestly think this is just going to be a perpetual combo because I don't want to put it in any other pens and have it kind of just explode its shimmer in there, and it just matches this galaxy. so well. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've watched it all, please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see. I'm thinking of filming a traveler's notebook setup video next, but I am open to any suggestions, and thank you.